This is actually the second time you've been on the Nerds of Color. A few months ago, you talked to my boy Jamal, our
That's right.
gaming editor. He's now officially the gaming editor, so you guys need to hook up again.
Yes.
Maybe do a live,
nice.
get on Twitch and do a live stream together or something.
It'd be a
let's
blast,
work that
man.
out.
It'd be a blast.
Well, congratulations, Jordan. You are a superhero. How does that feel?
Dude, just as good as you imagine it would. It's that, man. I try to think about like what that first fitting was going to feel like. It exceeded all expectations. I was trying to imagine what like my first meeting with the stunt department was going to feel like. It exceeded all expectations. I mean, like everything has fully exceeded expectations for me, all the way down to like just how I was received on set. Just the most love and the most care and attention, and I'm so grateful for that. I mean, I feel like I've spent a lot of my career going into shows and things that have been going for a while. I mean, I did that with Secret Life and Liv and Maddie. I did that with Hamilton, with Evan Hansen. I've done it time and to Teen Wolf, time and time again. I enter shows seasons in, and I need to make an impact. That's my thing. Like that is always, that's been my task so many times in my career. All right, here we go. We're writing in a brand new, very important character, Jordan. We want you to play him, and you have to make a massive impact 4 seasons in, 7 seasons in.
I mean, you were in the To All the Boys sequel, right? Like that was
yes.
Yeah.
Like, oh, the sequel of only the biggest movie in Netflix history. Yeah, for sure. Oh, to play like the guy that might ruin the relation. Cool. Here we go.
Yeah, you got to step
do that,
in,
and,
right?
Yeah, and not be a villain, and not and how to make that character likable. Like, how do you, But thankfully, I've got a lot of experience in it, and it's worked out really well. I think that on top of all of that, being able to play a superhero in general is insane. Being able to play Impulse is, to me, the playground of the idea of playing a superhero. This character, Bart, knows that he is the coolest dude on the planet. He knows that he can do all sorts of things that other speedsters can't. And he knows that he, in the way that speedsters can do everything faster than everybody, like think included, speedsters can come up with 20,000 different scenarios in their head. Think Doctor Strange, running through a timeline.
Sure.
Speedsters can do the same thing. And my dad and my sister Nora, they will think about 20,000 different ways that we can do this fight and enter into this field and make a good impact where it makes sense and gives us the best odds of winning. And then there's Impulse, who thinks of 4 different options. He's gonna pick the coolest one, and before you can even say no, don't do that, he's already halfway through it.
And I think the other special thing, I mean, of course, you made your debut on the show last week at the
Sure.
in the Stinger, but your big debut really is Heart of the Matter. It's the big 150th episode,
right,
of the show. Like, you talk about like, you do this all the time. You come in the 4th season, but this is the 150th, right? Like that's a big landmark, no matter what TV show, what project. Like that's 7.5 years or whatever of building a family. What did that feel like? Just kind of being part of, not just coming on The Flash, but like this is the landmark episode of The Flash.
Massive. I mean, yeah, it was the first episode that I worked on. I mean, like the Stinger we filmed almost right after we finished this episode that everyone's about to see. So yeah, I mean, day one on set for me was right there. Like, here we go, 150th episode. Here we go. Everyone's like exhausted and tired, and the pandemic's been so tough. It's taken so long to film one season, and everyone's, it's like, it's that. I got to be that boost of energy. I got to like come in, swing in, give a different kind of vibe on set, kind of establish a new energy that's just positive and different, and very childlike in the way that like I'm the new kid in school. I'm the new kid here, right? So figuring out dynamically speaking, figuring out where you fit is it's a very interesting thing. But man, like I said earlier, I was greeted with the most love and care and collaborative efforts. That's the other thing that's really, really cool. I mean, I was told like pretty early on, dude, you do what you want to do. And I'm like, okay, sure. Like
everyone says that, right?
I know what that means.
But they mean it up there in Vancouver.
Eric meant it, our showrunner. CW meant it, DC meant it. And to be given that trust and to be given the power and the voice, not being a producer on the show, to be able to say like, yeah, this is what I want to do. This is how I want to portray him. I want visibility. I want for people to feel like they see themselves in Bart in a lot of different ways, just how he carries himself, his lifestyle, his orientation, his choices, the color of his skin, his hair, his piercings, his whatever, his nails being painted. I mean, like, visibility is like, that's the thing. Try to put a lot of myself in Bart, to be honest with you. Really, like, I made an effort to do so.
And the thing about Bart, when he debuted in the comics in the 90s, like, he took off, like, no pun intended, right? But he was a huge, like, Young Justice was all about, like, him joining the rest of the teen heroes and everything. And do you, without getting into like calling your agent or whatever, but like, do you foresee a future with this character? I know that, technically you're only in these 2 episodes coming up, but like, are there hints that perhaps we're going to visit the future of Central City?
Keith,
will Impulse stick around? Like, is that something you'd be willing to do?
I'm going to give you an answer that I hope that you're satisfied with. It's that I don't have a crystal ball. No, at the end of the day, you never know what's going to happen. Obviously, you can talk about things and try to plan things out, map things out. You can even have like a whole project or 2 with these ideas in your hands and ready to go, and then they just don't sometimes. Like, I have no clue. No one does. We don't have a crystal ball here. However, I would be thrilled to play Impulse for a long time.
And just because the crew and cast are amazing, right? Like, alone would 100% ignore the superhero aspect of it.
100%.
Like Grant
and frankly, Keith, at whatever capacity, if it's films, if it's a new series, if it's whatever, I mean, like, I think that, if it makes sense, and if it truly makes sense, because that's all that I'm looking for. I'm looking for things that I genuinely want to do, to work with people that I genuinely want to work with. I don't just say yes to any project. Like, I want to do things that actually get me excited to wake up and go to work every day. This is one of those things. I found a little nugget. I got a golden apple here. Not only do I love the character and I love the show, I love the people. Like, there is a future with Impulse as comics continue to be written. There is a future there, and that's inevitable. The dude came back from the future. There's something that's there for sure. It would just be a matter of exploring like what that is and if it makes sense. And what I can assure you is that if it doesn't, or if it feels forced, I'm the first guy to say I'm good. Thank you.
Well, whether or not you come back permanently or whatever in guest spots in the future, one of the things that I love about your casting is that, several years ago, I wrote a post on the Nerds of Color. I've written a few posts about the Flash on the Nerds of Color. As you can tell, I'm a bit of a fan. One of the posts I've written about is just all of the singers, all of the Broadway stars that have been cast in the Arrowverse entirely,
right?
As well as I had a whole post about like the Hamilton actors I'd want to see play DC characters. So like, you being on the show kind of hits 2 birds with one stone. I get a Hamilton actor as well as like another Broadway star. Right. So real quick, I don't know if you've seen, of course you have, but there's a YouTube video from a few years ago of Darren Criss and Grant singing "Sincerely Me." Like, what do you think about Grant as Connor Murphy? That since you are,
oh my God, I would love it. He would be amazing. Grant would be a fantastic Connor Murphy. He would be so great.
Did you break out into "Sincerely Me" on set at all, or
broke out into many songs? everything that everybody, like, I was told this as well, like day 2 on set, like everything that everyone kind of expected to happen when I got the set in terms of like how Grant and I would get along, and because Grant and I've had a lot of mutual friends for years, and we've been admirers of each other from afar, but have never actually worked together. We hadn't even met in real life until I was on set, like getting a haircut for the first time. But everyone was like, we all like had bets on like how long it would take before the 2 of you just started like breaking out into song and dance and everything. We would live there. I'm sure there are videos somewhere that exist of us like both in our super suits and Star Labs, like just
tap dancing,
singing songs, like just being idiots. But man, like oh my gosh, we just laugh, man. Like, we had such a great time.
So I'm saying if Impulse ever comes back, they need to do a second musical episode, because the Flash Supergirl did the crossover a couple years ago. That's the thing I had predicted. 100%. I was like, we need a Flash Arrow Supergirl musical crossover. They did it.
Man,
they need to do it again. Is all I'm saying. 100%. Now that you're in the
as long as I can be a writer on it, I'm happy.
There you go. There you go.
That's right.
Well, Jordan, I am so excited for you. I can't wait to see Impulse take center stage on The Flash. And I'm just congratulations on all of your success. And speaking of Evan Hansen, you're getting ready to come back on Broadway.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
Unbelievable.
Just to be like in front of an audience again.
Unbelievable.
Are you ready for that? Are you ready for like what that's going to feel like?
I've had ideas in my head. Two things have happened in the last couple of months that have really like got me back to the place of like, oh my gosh, like this is going to happen again. And I'm going to be back on stage with an amazing cast performing again. And that's insane. Because I'm also thinking about like the music side of my life as well and touring and things like that. Luke Combs is a buddy and we were down in, I don't know if you're a country fan at all, but Luke Combs, big, probably the biggest male country artist right now, but super sweet guy. Handful of us are friends with him. We all like play video games and stuff with him. And there's like mutual relationships with some team members and stuff. We went down to Orange Beach with some friends a couple weeks ago to see Luke perform. And we were like backstage, but it was an amphitheater. So you can see every 15,000 people. That was the first time I had seen that in my, like in person since pandemic, right? Like that. Yeah. I had not seen that amount of people all in one place with smiles on their faces and drinks in their hands and music being blasted and Luke on stage and doing his thing and doing it so well. And everyone singing all the music back to him. I was like, oh my God, like that's I forgot about that feeling. Like I forgot how satisfying and how electric that feeling is for both an audience as well as an artist. It's unbelievable. So that and our Good Morning America performance when we actually were all together again and singing You Will Be Found, that was a moment where we were all like, oh,
it's happening.
We're home. It's happening again. So yeah, I'm super excited.
Yeah. Well, 2020 was stolen from all of us, and it's just great that 2021 is, we're able to bring back some of the normal again. And like I said, congratulations. Can't wait for the episode. Can't wait for you to be back on stage. And again, congratulations on all that you do.
Thank you, Keith. I appreciate it.
Love to have you come back and game with Jamal on stream.
That would be a blast, man. We need to figure that out.
Let's do it.
All right, dude. Take care.
Pop culture with a different perspective. Watch it on your screen, hit play, so check this. This is the Hard Knock Life, but not the chick.